Are we live? Checking. Well, hopefully this is live. It's been quite a while since I've actually done a video. So, as you can see on the screen, I have Visual Studio Code up. Oh, man, my bit rate, excuse me, is absolutely horrifying. Let me see how the stream's going before I... Okay, it's going good. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't lagging out so horribly, but so yeah. I realize not too many people are in the chat yet, but I know this video is going to be put onto YouTube pretty quickly, or quickly after this. I figure I'd get back into YouTube. Right now I've been quite busy with a lot of things. It's been making me really itch to get back into YouTube. This is going to be half announcement, half chill and code video stream. So yeah, let's get started. So the very first thing I want to do is to reintroduce myself. I've made a lot of videos on YouTube when I was younger, and basically I want to get back into it, but I want to work on like artificial intelligence and work on different code, economics, politics, whatever. Just get back into the mood of doing YouTube and probably some Twitch here and there. See where it goes. Just something fun other than coding all day and stuff like that. But yeah. So right now it's going to be more of like a chill stream. As you can see, I'm in my robe, just kind of chilling out. Nothing super professional. Just got to do some coding. If anyone wants to join into the stream, we could talk and stuff. And yeah, just kind of start it off and just have fun. But I'll probably be working on some Node or Electron. I'm not really for sure. Just start working on some application just to kind of fill in some content, stuff like that, and maybe me explain a little bit for any people that are new. I'm MrSovr, and I am a software engineer. I do a lot of things: C#, Java, C++, Node, just overall JavaScript and TypeScript, Python. Played around with assembly. Did some things with Rust, but nothing too crazy. And I'm really big into a lot of different things with artificial intelligence. I like neural networks. I like programming different programs or applications to not only just solve issues, like for example trying to predict a stock price or something like that. I actually like to really work on things for like simulating voice, like human voice, with to the point of even having breaths and all that stuff when they're talking. And it's all robot. It's neural networks. It's not even like, it takes a lot of data from people and listens to their voice and trains their neural net to actually replicate it, which is really cool. Let me see. Any cool things about me? Well, I guess I'll talk about some things of the future of this channel. As you can see, I'm not a big YouTuber. I did some YouTube like, 9-10 years ago or something. And I started off as like modding Minecraft beta, I think. And that was a really cool mod. Like, with the knowledge I know now, I could make the mod so much better. But I think that was back when I was like 20 or something like that. Like 19. I think I was like 19 or 20. Right now I'm 28. But yeah, the future of the channel, I want to kind of do a few chill streams. I want to maybe pump out some tutorial videos or just some videos here and there. There is a framework I like to do, and I know there's some YouTubers that do this, where they live stream and then they take cuts of the live stream and they put into like a video, for example, like I don't know, like for example, I could be doing a tutorial about Python because someone asked me, how do you create a Flask basic server API application in Python? I could be like, oh, okay, I can show you this, and I download the things through pip and add the different endpoints and the code that that viewer was asking about, and I could basically explain all that, and then I could just cut that out and put it in its own video essentially on top of the streaming that I'm doing. So that's definitely an option I could do. Like, I'm kind of on a whim to started doing this, so I'm trying to figure out how I might proceed in making. Wow, that took forever to download. I don't know if you can see that, but like on my visual code, I literally had this open for. Oh, can you see my mouse? I am confused. At least on here, I don't know if you can really see my mouse or something. I'm gonna have to fix that later. I don't know if it's just on my side, but it looks like the mouse just disappears. I could type. Like you can see, I can type there, so that's at least good. I can use the cursor to point to stuff. But just to kind of wrap up this intro type thing, I might do live streams and then do some segments of the live stream. Jeez, oh, peace, excuse me. Like I could, for example, I might pop into something with Python, something with JavaScript, something with C#, .NET, Rust, whatever, and then I could pop over to like some news, like they're going over the new PlayStation, I don't know, 6 or something games in the future, and I can have a little segment there. We can like kind of watch it over. I have to pause a lot and talk about it, I think, because of the content system for copyright. But here, wait 1 second, I'll be right back. Need to drink some water there. I don't know what is it, but if I eat anything late at night, is that thing focused? It's a little fuzzy, I think. I don't have any fancy cameras. I actually was kind of pissed today because I don't know if I could get this without messing up the other camera. Oh no, it's moving the camera. I got this, yeah, I got a picture of it. Got this new camera. You can kind of see it there. I spent like, I think $50 for this thing. It's no, it's not 4K. It's a 1440p camera at 30 frames per second. Literally looks like a VHS when you turn it on. Like, I have this old ass camera that's 1080p, and I've had it for years, and it looks way, way better. Right now it looks a little fuzzy though. I don't know why. You look so fuzzy. Oh well. But still, it looks so much better, essentially. But wow, I'm kind of looking at the streaming at the side there, and okay, I thought we just dropped some frames. I'm looking at the streaming on the side essentially, and it's like like 10 seconds behind, which is kind of cool. But okay, I'm getting sidetracked. So yeah, long stream segments. I think that's a good formula. And then occasionally I might do like an occasional like long form video here and there. And I might just do, like, I'm not really for sure if I should take here's the tutorial for Python 1, 2, 3, 4, ... 30, 31, 32 type format. I feel like I get way too bored with that. I think a combination of news, maybe some politics, definitely tech. That's a big one. I would have to say that just general programming, tech. I feel like those are going to be the two big ones, but there could be some like politics and different general topics. Like, I don't want it to be strictly all code. Like, I definitely want to do coding and backseat coding, or what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, backseat coding, I think it's called, where chat really bothers the crap out of you, how poor of a programmer you are, essentially. And trust me, that if I'm doing coding on live streaming, that's going to be a lot of that, because I am very self-taught, and I didn't take any courses except for a few Java courses back in college. But I might need to get like a nicer, not as loud keyboard, because that's going to be annoying. I need like a softer keyboard or something, and not so mechanical. But I guess for just view, I'm going to create a little server here. I'm going to do an Express server. Let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. So I believe with Node, the require thing there is basically part of CommonJS, which is a feature of extracting libraries. Essentially, I think it's, I don't know the background behind require, but basically require is a way to extract information from a library into your main JavaScript code, essentially. So we don't have it right now because I have to go into the terminal and I have to do npm install Express, and with the npm stands for Node Package Module, and of course install means install, and then Express is the name of the library, essentially. So by doing this, it might go really slow because I'm streaming right now. Oh, went pretty quick actually. Oh yeah, if you heard that pop, I actually have like one of those nuke computers, the NUC Intel computers. It's just a dual core. I upgraded with some crazy RAM and stuff, but a little baby computer I can fit in my hand, essentially. It's really cute. I had to put like an ice pack on it so it doesn't overheat. I'm getting a brand new computer pretty soon though, so that's the good news. But so basically right here we have the npm, which is the Node Package Module. Is it management or manager? I think it's manager. Wow, I said modular or module. npm is Node Package Manager, and I just installed Express. So Express is a way to create endpoints within a backend server for Node, and all you have to do is to create your app by doing that, and then you could do app.get. Now within HTTP, which is a hypertext transport protocol, you have get, put, post, delete, and you get a few other ones, but those are the main ones. Get means you're getting information. Post means you're sending information or adding something to the server, which is usually connects to a database to store the data that you're sending to it. Put is like updating the information that's already there. You're not deleting, you're not adding, and you're not getting, but you're updating. And then delete is delete. Literally means like, here you go, delete this piece of information. And we can get into databases a little bit later, but I think for now we're just going to go over very basic Express tools, essentially, or Express server. let me see here. So we got get. Now, I don't know on the top of my head. I'm kind of doing this like freestyle. I believe we can do get. Let's do. Let's do test. And then we can make this async, but we're going to wait a little bit on that. For now, we're just going to do require res and next. Okay, so what I did here, I guess what I could do instead of doing this, I could just add the old-fashioned way of doing it, just because it might be easier for some people. So basically you have app.get, which is a HTTP call to your backend server that is a get, and you have the endpoint here, which is test. And what you would do is that you would call the and we'll explain how to set the actual port number, but you would basically have test, which is the endpoint of the URL, and then you have a function they add on to it, and the request is the request information, and the res is the response information. And next, I've only used next a few times. I think it's if there's an error within the call, you can do something where it sends like an HTML error page, I think, or HTTP error. Let me see here. What we can do is we could just do res.json, and that will be the return. And we could do return data equals, I guess what we can do is success true. Oops, I like that. And I believe we don't have to stringify it. Basically, stringify is converting a Java object to a Java object that is a string. So a string, I guess this is just kind of freestyle tutorial stuff. So I'm not like really organized and saying like this is a string, this is an int, this is an if, all that stuff. This is kind of, you have to be already familiar with programming and need to be somewhat familiar with the basics of JavaScript to follow this. But I guess that's what I'll do, because I'm really just kind of brainstorming here. I'm not even like super like I'm definitely wanting to do this a lot more seriously in the future, but this is kind of a bit like my little intro into just kind of feeling what would be best to do for the channel, because I really want to do YouTube, and I feel like now is probably the time to do it, just because I'm in a point in my life where I'm fairly comfortable with a lot of things, where years before, I'm not going to get too personal here, but years before it's just been really difficult with, making money and trying to get a very secure job and all that stuff. But I feel like I'm in a good position to start YouTube, and I feel like it's a good creative outlet for myself, and it's also something I can do that can grow a community, I guess, and can help people program and understand what it takes to be a software engineer, while at the same time being entertained with different things. Like I really want to try to like incorporate code in a way in streaming that is very different. Like maybe we can have different virtual worlds we could go to. Maybe there's like a game we can do and it interacts with the stream. Like I'd probably have to build like OBS plugins and stuff like that, or work with Twitch API and YouTube API to figure that part out. But just some ideas I have about the future of this. Anyways, I'm getting really distracted. If I'm going to try to do segments, I can't be so going on tangents all the time. I need to stick with the idea that I have and keep on doing it. So I guess I could probably, if I'm going to make a segment out of this, which I don't know if I am, but if I am, I'm going to probably cut out that little section and put in its own, like, you know, attach this part, that part to the video and make it one segment. But getting back to this, I've been explaining how Express works in a general fashion. So yeah, basically what I have here is I create a Java object, return data, and the return data goes into the JSON return format. So again, res means response. So the response is the information going back to the client. And we'll probably open up, let me see, can I, man, phlegm, I'm gonna have to eventually call this URL to show the results of this, but we're not done yet. So that returns a JSON object of success true, and we'll be able to see that when we call it in the web browser. But before anything else, we need to create a function called app.listen. And then what we do is, as you can see popping up here, there's port number and callback. So we're going to just, I don't know, put all fours here. And then we're going to create a function. And we're just going to do console.log. Server is running on port 4444. So that's basically it. I do need to test it though, so I want to at least see that it's working. Node app.js. As you see there at the bottom, server is running on port 4444. 4 fours. And let me see if I can access that. So I guess we'll also explain, basically a callback is a way to input a function into another function, if that makes any sense. I might have to look up a better definition of callbacks and revisit this, but basically think of it as you call on something and you're waiting for the results. Now you can use a async function and use await to get the information, so it kind of all happens at once but in order essentially. Or you can have a callback saying like, I want to start the app server on this port, and once it's finished then call this function. Now I can show you another way of doing this that makes it maybe a little bit more understandable. I could do function callback, and I would just simply cut, and no, I hit the wrong key. I could just do that, and I take this out, and I just call callback right there. So this function, even though, oh man, I forgot my mouse. Okay, use the cursor here. This function right here, this callback function, is going to run when this listen function is done, and I'll just call this. So let's restart it. As you can see, it runs the exact same way. So you can create a function and put it as like an argument within another function. Now, again, you can use promises, you can use async, you can use await, but we're not going to talk about that right now. This is just going to be very basic how to make an Express API backend. So now that we got it running, I am going to enter in HTTP. I know you can't see this, but I'll just make sure it's working right and everything. I guess I could pop this over. So HTTP localhost colon, because we want to enter in the port number, 4444/test. And voila, we got success true right here, and I need to highlight. As you can see, there is success and true being returned in a JSON format when calling HTTP localhost 4444/test. And we get exactly that. Now, you may be asking, well, okay, this is cool, but what would you do with this? So you would have things like databases, a lot more code in the actual endpoints to basically change things. Like, I guess I have to come up with a good example of this. Let's just say you have a customer. Now, that customer has a name and an age. I guess I could technically program this out, but I feel like I'm gonna probably end the stream kind of soon. Not exactly just now, but will be. But basically what you would do is you would have like, let me just kind of type it out a little bit. Let's just say you got var customer equals age 4, name MrSovr. Yes, I'm extremely young. I don't know. I was gonna try and make a joke out of that, but I'm like in tutorial mode. So I guess what we can do, we could kind of play around with this, and let's do a post customer function request res next, and instead of that, I'm not really for sure if this is gonna work, but it should. Okay, so we got that saved. Let's just make sure. Okay, good. We got the age and name. Okay, so that's a good. What we would be doing here, query dot age. Okay, so the REQ is the request. So information that you're getting from the client, which is this right here. Now, in order to have, now the query is a URL string query. So you know how they have like a question mark, and then they'll have like age equals 5 and name equals Sovr. Like, you know how web pages would have stuff like that? Well, after the question mark, each of those, and in between the and symbol, are query strings. Now I'm just going to add the customer endpoint there. I'm not going to click on it just yet. I'm just going to keep that there. Now, as you can see up here, the request query age is literally getting the age from here. And we can do the same thing. Name, and we will, let me see, customer dot age equals that, and customer dot name equals that, and then we'll just give it something to just return. Let me see. Voila. So I'm going to test this. I just kind of came up with this on the top of my head. So I got the query string, both of them for age and name, going into the customer object that I created up here. The get function gets the actual customer object, which you just saw was age 4 and name MrSovr. And then this post, which post is usually used for like adding a thing. This should probably technically be a put, but oh, wait a second, this is a browser. Okay, I'm gonna kind of bend the rules here. I'm gonna do a get, because if I want to do a post, I'm gonna have to probably do it through like a different tool other than the web browser. But let's just keep that as a get. You can use a get to update something, but it's kind of frowned upon. That's all I'm gonna say there. So, whoops. Let's restart it. Let's click on this. Success. Now remember, up here the age is 4, name is MrSovr, and now we simply do the test, and voila, age 5 and Sovr. And that, again, that was from the argument, the query string arguments up here. So that's kind of a bit like a very basic understanding of the Express Node API backend server. Basically to update things, to get things, and eventually we might add on to this a little bit later on and add on like databases, different ways to send HTML files, have like a proper website, a proper front end, have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript communicate to it, and maybe even get into like frameworks and stuff like that, like Angular, Vue, or React. But yeah, for now, that's a very basic understanding of the backend. I am probably going to save this for future streams. And now we're just going to kind of switch over to just me talking about stuff and maybe adding on some things here and there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stream node. You can't see this. I'm basically adding a folder. Node Express. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything in there. No, not copy. I want cut. Ta-da. Okay, I'm just going to call this scratch code. Scratch code is basically where I'm not doing a tutorial. I'm just kind of like playing around. Should I do some C# or JavaScript or what? I guess I'll stick with the JavaScript. I'm kind of in the mood for it. So scratch app.js. Okay. So I had a little bit of introduction, a reintroduction, because I've had so many introductions. I guess the plan is doing streams maybe a couple times a week, doing segments from those streams. I'll probably have a more formal like video once per week. And yeah, see how that goes. And if I get bigger, if I get more of a following, I guess what I'll do is I will try to move more towards this being like more of a bigger thing, obviously. I got some other projects I'm working on outside of my day job in this that are a little private. I'm not going to really explain all of it, but yeah, just do stuff with coding and stuff, nothing bad or anything like that. But excuse me. So yeah, I guess what I'll do is I might I guess I could talk about a few things I just got. I just got this thing. Is it backwards or can you read it? No, you can read it. The Neural Compute Stick 2. So I just literally got let me see, I can pull this out. Ugh. Don't break the board. Damn, these micro USBs. I just got the Raspberry Pi Zero W2, and I'm doing an experiment with this right here to try to do some neural networks with OpenCV. Cool little thing. It's really small, like literally the USB is like as big as the board itself. So I'm gonna try to do some cool things with that. Maybe build some like micro robot or something that's really smart. Can like avoid objects or something. I'm not really for sure. Oh yeah, and the hat I wanted to explain. I'm majority finished, so that's why I got the hat. I'm thinking on like chill streams like this, I might wear a hat or something like that. I like wearing the robe because it's less formal. Just kind of chill and talk to people and code and see what's going on in the world. But yeah, let me see here. Oh, we've been going pretty for a good amount of time actually. Okay, so there was a very interesting thing that I found for like if you're making Electron apps or Electron.js apps, you can use like require v8 compile cache. And I guess this helps with Babel and a few other things for like Electron apps. It makes it go by like the compilation time, like go by like half the time, the setup and everything for Electron apps. Like I can even prove it to you. Let's go into Scratch code. Let's initialize this. Oh, did I? Okay, I did. npm install v8 compile cache. Hopefully it works. Like okay, yeah. Like as you can see, it's an actual package here. Added one package for the v8 compile cache. I should probably. There you go. And all this does, that's all you have to do on the very top of this. And if you're making like an Electron app, I guess what I can do is that's the thing, I don't know on the top of my head the actual Electron app or anything like that. But let me see. I guess I could set this up for like future streams if I want to just kind of scratch and code. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it scratch and code as like a way of like just coding on stream while talking to people. Let's get this all set up. Okay, well I guess, oh man, I got this crazy thing going on. I've been actually learning about Fortran and APL. It's like some really, really old programming languages. I forgot when Fortran was developed. I think that was like back in the 50s or something like that. Like I know APL literally means a programming language. Was made, I believe, in the 70s. Let me see if I can actually. I want to show you this language is unbelievable. shrink you. Look at that. Look at that language. Like, I just literally started looking at it, and I kind of knew, like, a very small amount. I think... Is there a symbol that I know on this? I know there's one symbol I know. Shoot. But look at this. Like, man, I forgot. I think this is an array-based programming language. Array-based. Now, if you look at Fortran... Now, Fortran, actually, I believe you can compile Fortran with, what is it, GCC, I think it is. You can download GCC and just, like, you know, run your own little apps. Let's just look at this. Is there any code examples? I want to at least show the code. I guess right here is actually good examples. So you have like program, hello, print, hello world, and program. So I guess that's alright. There was this one programming language that I know of that was ridiculous. I need to find like the video for it, because it was like... It was a programming language that was built from business people to explain things. And it, like, you see how program, end program, they had like 5 things of this you had to type in order to like end a function. It was ridiculous. It was basically, again, like basically business people trying to build like programming languages for developers, which was a complete absolute miss. Let me see. So I guess that's how you declare the variable type and amount. Like, I literally just started looking into this. I need to like study it some more, just because it seems really fun. And I think Fortran is actually a language that's capable of doing things. I don't, like, obviously I don't believe that there's a lot of libraries where you can like make a video game or something out of it. I'm pretty sure there is, but I don't really know too much about it. I know there's literally a language called brainfuck, I think. Let me... Let's see. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wait, like literally, this is it. This is it. Set cell 0 to 8, add 4 to cell 1. This will always set cell 1 to 4, as the cell will be cleared by the loop. Add 2 to cell 2, add, like, what the heck? And this is the results, I guess. Man, look at that program language. That looks amazing. Oh man, even better, right here. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I think this was literally made as like a joke. I know there's... Man, I forgot some of the other stuff. I think it's like No. Man, there were some videos I saw of like the worst programming language and weird programming languages that I don't even remember the names of. Like, I'm gonna have to rewatch those videos, because I remember watching something about it's like esoteric. Is that a word? I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird video. Like, maybe in the future I can watch it on stream or something if possible. But yeah, those were some like little things that I was looking at, I wanted to like add in APL and Fortran just to kind of like, because I'm just nerdy that way and want to know some like old ass languages just to kind of flux that. And I think it would be pretty fun to do actually. APL, I know that APL had like a library that works with like .NET, but it was discontinued or something. I could see APL as a really, really great language for like completing very complex mathematical array-based tasks with like 1/100th of like the amount of work you have to put in for like something like in Java or C Sharp or especially C++ or something like that. You just know the symbols, you know what they do, and it just does it for you. It's crazy. I want to like have like a built-in plugin to add in APL to like a .NET program where it would handle a lot of the hardcore mathematical stuff. Like I think if I remember, whoops, no, not that. It's my YouTube stuff. What was it? APL with neural networks. Matrix orientated language. Okay, that's what that is. I was kind of close. I said array based language. Neural networks with. Okay, that's. Nah. Neural networks and APL, an introduction to neural networks, a quick Google search. Artificial. Okay, yeah. Down to geek stuff. One of my colleagues at a recently conference resolving around artificial intelligence became hooked on. Following Wednesday, a few members of the APL community met on a weekly talk, and there was lots of discussions on artificial neural networks and how one might go about implementing along with the most suitable language to do it in. I believe it actually. APL is pretty cool. Like I know it looks like a nightmare, but it's pretty nifty on how to do things. I was intrigued. Okay, this is just one big article. Objectives and prerequisites. Okay, this is what I was looking at. It's a video. But I'm not going to click on it right now because I don't know how the content stuff works. I don't want this thing to be put down or anything. But basically there's a tutorial on YouTube. Or is this Bing Videos? But as you can see, APL is being used with neural networks to predict, like, I think it was handwriting or something. No, it's a YouTube series. So you can check this video out if you want to know more about it, but APL neural networks is crazy. I think I was talking about APL and .NET. Oh yeah, just a little information about myself. I am a huge .NET developer. I am not religious. I am not in a cult with programming languages and stacks. I don't care if you do your stuff in Node, and Rust, and Python, Angular, React, TypeScript, Deno, Spring Boot, even though Java is not my most favorite language. It's one of the first languages I learned. Here, I'm going to close down my laptop because it's going to die. A strategy for compiling APL for the .NET framework. Ooh. Wow, this is going to be a big PDF, isn't it? Oh, God. Spike tests. Vector. At the other end of the scale, we have hand-coded C# version, which runs around 10 seconds in dialogue APL on my 400 megahertz laptop. What? This? Whoa, wait. The classic prime number in my favorite experiment, it loops a bit. It hit vector. Okay, so this is the APL version, right here. It runs 10 seconds on a 400 megahertz laptop. This is a fairly hard target to beat as it loops 9,593 times. Here's the C# version. It runs almost 8 seconds on the same hardware and is fairly good. I don't even know what that word is. The APL algorithm, written by Richard Smith in about 20 minutes, it proves a number of things. The C# runtime is definitely not a dog. Experiences of Java made us weary of the environment which compiles to a virtual machine. It would appear that the MrSovr guys have not hit us with a speed penalty here. The garbage collection works really well. That candidate vector gets reassigned and discarded 9,593 times. So I guess the C# runs quicker than the APL. So like, what's the point of this? I thought this was like making APL and .NET. Wait, what? Assorted branch styles. Basic loop or vector library for these happen in realistic application code for the loop and see how that goes. I guess it's trying to like compare C# and APL. Oh man, don't tell me. Like, the one plus side is that the amount of code you have to type for C# versus like APL. I feel like having like an APL plugin for C# or whatever language you're using, even Python, even like Rust or anything like that, I feel like it could heavily improve the efficiency of programming. Because you're programming less. The problem is I don't know what the speed would be. It seems like C# is quicker than APL, so that's one thing. So yeah, excuse me, let me get another drink of water. I'll be right back. Oh, whoops. You know what really pisses me off? This is a Raspberry Pi 2 camera. This is a Raspberry Pi 0 W2. Let me see if I could show you this up close. This is difficult. It does not fit. I'm like, are you kidding me? I need a camera on this, and this thing doesn't fit. It's my fault. I'm not blaming anyone else other than me, but I'm just like, come on. I spent like $40, or was it $40? I got 2 of these, so I think so. Again, I was trying to plug this thing into this thing, which would have a camera like this. That was 1080p, I think at 8 megapixels. However, I do have a backup. And this is a little bit of an older one. It's bigger, which is a problem because I want a small camera. It does have a nice lens though. 1080p. I also have a night vision camera, which is pretty cool. That connects to the Pi. But this is USB based, so I can just plug it into like the sides here. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about myself, since this is kind of a bit like reboot slash intro slash mini tutorial slash whatever, chill stream, wherever goes. Man, there we we go. So I've actually been in electronics way longer than software development. My dad was an electrical engineer, so he gave me his college breadboards and wires and parts. I have transistors, capacitors, some IC chips. He even had like an IC chip book that, like, you go through it. You want to look up what a 555 timer does, you can just look it up. Do you want to know what a 2122 chip does? You can just look it up. And essentially I got into a lot of hardware, and eventually in high school I got into microcontrollers, which got me into programming, and here I am. Took some courses in Java and web design in high school. Took some courses in college with Java. This must have been like right before Python just took over, because it was like, what, 2013 or something like that when I was doing that stuff. I've also done things like make computers in Minecraft. It's only like 8-bit computer, nothing crazy. I actually made, okay, I don't know if I have a video on YouTube on this, but it's one of my first videos on YouTube. I built a mod that connected to a propeller chip. It's from parallax.com if you want to look it up. Not advertising, none of that stuff. It's a chip that I used to use before a lot of the Raspberry Pi and like single board computer chips. But it was like an 8-core, 300 megahertz chip that ran on assembly and or spin code. And there's like robot kits and stuff like that. But basically I built a mod for Minecraft to use the redstone, go into certain blocks that would actually control the microcontroller right here and like turn on LEDs and stuff like that. So you can build like a circuit in Minecraft to have it interact with the real circuit in the real world. So that's really cool. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off here. I know I've been talking a lot, so yeah, thank you for joining. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will be back with some more streaming.